and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy. So, Oscars, they're a big deal, huh? Everybody wants to win one. Whether you're an actor, a director, a writer, a producer, a makeup artist, you know, whatever involvement you have in creating a movie, you really want that Golden Globe. I think it's pretty much the most coveted thing in Hollywood, you know, besides money. Now, we're going to be talking about a movie that actually won an Oscar recently. It won just one Oscar, but it was nominated for a whole bunch of them, you know, a whole bunch of different awards. And that movie is Marriage Story.
What I love about Nicole, she is a mother who plays, really plays.
What I love about Charlie,
he loves being a dad. He loves all the things you're supposed to hate, like waking up at night.
She knows when to push me and when to leave me alone.
He never lets other people keep him from what he wants to do.
Dad, you're too far.
I know. It's not easy for her to close a cabinet.
He's incredibly neat.
She's brave.
He's brilliant. He's very competitive.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that I shouldn't even have to say this, you know, it should be the most obvious thing in the world, but if you still haven't seen the movie, there will be spoilers ahead, okay? It is available to watch right now on Netflix, so you can just skip this video, okay? Pause it here, open up Netflix, watch it, then come back to where you were, okay? Do not watch this video if you want to spoil the video, if you want to spoil the movie for you, but if you don't care, you know, if I don't know, if it's not a big deal for you, okay, cool, but like, don't get to the end of the video and complain that I spoiled it, knowing that I gave you a spoiler alert here in the end, okay? Don't be an idiot, all right? Okay, so let's get into it. So basically, Marriage Story is kind of like what the title says. It is about a married couple, you know, Charlie and Nicole, who are played by Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson respectively. Charlie is a very successful theater director. He makes a lot of money, he gets a lot of work, you know, but his wife, she's kind of estranged. I think she feels too much in his shadow, you know. She feels kind of like she can't really do her own thing because she's always trying to tailor to him, you know, be an actress in his production and all that. They have a son named Henry, you know, very cute little guy. And the movie is centered around their ongoing divorce, you know, because they just got tired of each other, I guess. At one point, the love was gone. So then they decided to get a divorce. But the problem is that it's not a regular kind of divorce. It is a coast-to-coast divorce. If any of you have ever been through a divorce, you know how stressful it can be, okay? If any of you have gotten divorces, I'm sorry, it never worked out for you, you know, but there are ways to do it amicably in a way that nobody really gets into any stress. But in the case of this movie, there was a lot of stress involved because the divorce was happening while Nicole was in Los Angeles and Charlie was in New York, you know? Two different places that have different laws and rules when it comes to divorcing, you know? I guess the court has different ways of running things. So anyway, the movie shows us the process of this divorce happening. At first, it's actually okay. It's pretty friendly. They're saying, you know what, let's just do this between us. Let's not get any lawyers involved, you know? Let's just keep it cool between you and me, you know? But then Nicole goes behind Charlie's back and gets a lawyer anyway. And the lawyer is played by none other than the fabulous Dern, who actually won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, and she really gave an amazing performance. I think that everyone in the movie was amazing. Everyone. The main actors, the supporting actors and actresses, everyone. The main cast, the supporting cast, everyone was amazing, you know? Everyone really did their job well, you know? I'm actually surprised that not every single actor got an Oscar, you know? And I think I think Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson were actually even nominated for them, but, you know, but anyway, Laura was a very, very ruthless lawyer, you know. She was a very vicious character. She was really driven, you know. She was very sweet, you know, with Nicole, who was her client, but she was very rough with everyone else, you know. Kind of like a femme fatale kind of thing, sugar and spice. She was nice, but at the same time, she would kind of stab you with her eyes, you know, and some of her words would cut a little deep. So maybe that's why she won the Oscar, you know. Look at how I'm describing her. Imagine the actual film critics who voted for her. But anyway, as the movie goes on, you start to see a gradual change in the dynamics between the couple and even their son, because they have to have shared custody of Henry at some point. He has to go to live with both of them, you know. There are a few tense moments, you know, like at the beginning of the movie, at the onslaught, it starts with Nicole and Charlie reading letters about each other that they wrote while they're in a counseling session. Charlie is reading his out loud, you know. It's actually very sweet, but Nicole refuses to read hers for some reason. You know, she just feels insecure. And then it shows us, you know, through a montage that Charlie is actually very close with Henry, their son, you know. They really get along well. But as the movie goes on and the divorce starts getting stressful, even Henry starts acting out, you know. There's a scene where he's staying over with Charlie in an apartment that he rented out in Los Angeles, you know, a house that he's in. And then I think some kind of Is she an IRS agent? I don't think an IRS agent does that. I don't know. Somebody representing the court goes to stay the night and see how his relationship is with his son. And of course, because the lady's there, Henry starts misbehaving, you know, and Charlie starts getting pissed and acting like a douche, and he accidentally cuts himself and starts bleeding. You know, it's a really crazy scene. This movie is crazy, guys, but not crazy like Mad Max Fury Road. It's like a grounded kind of craziness, you know. If you have ever gone through a divorce, you know what kind of crazy I'm talking about. So it's very, very, very grounded in realism, you know. It's almost like you can relate to it, even if you were never married.
Charlie and I are getting a divorce, Mom. You can't be friends with him anymore. Gee, Mom.
Charlie Bird! Mom! Mom?
Mom.
What?
Now, there's a lot of bureaucracy, you know, there's a lot of bureaucracy involved, you know, behind the scenes, because, you know, a lot of, the law has to get involved a lot when it comes to, you know, divorces and all that. So we see a lot of that happening. We see a lot of scenes in court, and then like we see a few scenes where the lawyers are talking with each other and their clients. So there's a lot of bureaucracy in politics, but I actually enjoyed it a lot, you know, because it showed you how deep the rabbit hole was going in terms of these character dynamics, you know. The character development was really, really strong, you know. Everyone really did well, and there was even a really, really tense scene at the close to the end where Nicole and Charlie are having a fight, you know, in his house, and they're throwing really harsh words at each other, you know. This is after he punched through a wall in anger, or before, I don't even remember. He actually says that he wishes she would die, you know. And you know, it gets really, really rough there, but then they both break down and start crying, you know, and they embrace. And it's like, I think that a lot of couples who are going through divorce go through this phase, you know, where it's like, okay, let's do this calmly, but then all of the demons come out, they start screaming at each other, but then they just break down and cry, and they hug each other. It's like, how did we get here, you know? I think that's what that moment represented. And there's a key moment where Charlie fires his lawyer because, you know, we see them talking, and then it's like he's trying to be realistic and keep him up a bit, but Charlie sees that he's not really going anywhere with this guy, so he goes and hires another lawyer who was not very well recommended by everyone else around him. And then there's a very, very, you know, there's a very pulse-pounding epic scene in the courtroom where both of the lawyers are trying to talk smack about the other clients, you know. So Charlie's lawyer is trying to talk Nicole down, and Nicole's lawyer is trying to talk Charlie down, you know. And of course, a lot of lies are involved, you know. They start saying random stuff that's not even true, which is very frustrating to say the least. But even throughout all of this, Nicole and Charlie still somehow remain friends. They remain okay with each other, you know. I don't know. At the end of the movie, they do still maintain a very close relationship, you know. But we're gonna get to the ending in a little bit. Now, throughout the movie, we see the toll that all of this takes on Charlie in particular, you know. Nicole seems to be okay with it because she's the one who filed for divorce and she has a good lawyer and this and that. So she's actually pretty chill. But Charlie is the one who is really suffering a lot, you know. He just got a grant, you know, a good amount of money, but then I think the lawyer says he's gonna have to pay a good part of this grant to Nicole, you know. And then there's the whole shared custody thing, you know, because he's gonna have to move to Los Angeles to be able to keep Henry. I don't know. It gets a little. It's confusing the way that I'm saying it. I'm not really good at describing the law, you know. But if you watch the movie, you'll understand. It's very easy to understand. It's not a complicated movie, but it's not Inception. Okay, it's not Inception. All right, it's very straightforward. You know, but it's hard to explain sometimes. But yeah, you know, I honestly think it's one of the best movies I've seen in a while. It is a very dramatic movie, and I made a note of watching all of the movies that were nominated for or won the more recent Oscars, one of them being Marriage Story. I also watched The Irishman, which I'm going to review later too, you know. And yeah, a few years ago when I watched the other Oscar-nominated movies like Moonlight and La La Land and Manchester by the Sea, I was really disappointed. I didn't like any of them, you know. But now I'm actually liking all of the movies that, you know, were nominated recently. So yeah, there are a lot of scenes where you can really feel that the actors have a really firm grasp, you know, in their roles, you know, and the actresses as well, you know. Everyone really, like, they really got into the characters, you know, and that's why everyone was nominated for an Oscar. This movie won the Oscar for a reason, guys, you know. It won just one award, but it still won, you know, and it was nominated for a bunch of other stuff. And as it goes on, you know, we see the coast-to-coast situation getting a little worse, you know, because it has to get worse to eventually get better, you know. And I honestly think that it was done really well, you know. And there was at the very end of the movie is what disappointed me, because Charlie and Nicole, they're okay now. Charlie, he's got I guess he's doing a really big stint, you know, with his show. He got a really nice, I don't know, something was happening with him. He got a new work or something, and then Nicole is dating someone else now, and they still have shared custody over Henry, and it's a Halloween trick-or-treating party, and then even though it's Nicole's day with their son, she lets him take him home, you know, and the movie just ends abruptly right there. That kind of upset me a bit, you know, because it was so good. It was such a good movie, you know, but you can I judge a movie a lot on two things: the opening and the ending, you know. So if one of those two isn't good, I can actually give the movie a pretty low rating, you know. It's I'm very critical when it comes to movies, you know, and it actually opened up pretty okay, but the ending was kind of a letdown, you know. The ending was a little bit of a letdown, you know. I don't know, if you had given me just maybe 10 more minutes, I would have been satisfied, you know. But it depends a lot on the movie, you know. I don't think that it's gonna bog down Marriage Story too much because of the ending, you know. I think that movie is still rocking a solid 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, or 10, you know, anywhere between that for me. And yeah, a movie that I tried to watch recently with Keanu Reeves was called Exposed. I think it was. It's on Netflix, and it sucks. It started off so badly, and I didn't even get halfway through. You know, I think, no. So a movie has to convince me in the first, I don't know, I usually give it about 10 minutes or so. I usually give it 10 or 15 minutes to try to grasp me, you know. If it doesn't have me in the first 15 minutes, very, very slim chance that I'll keep watching. But Marriage Story was different, man. Marriage Story just really builds up on the drama, you know. It's a very dramatic movie with few moments of comic relief, you know. And it's something that's very relatable, very grounded, and still very, very, you know, it almost seems crazy, you know. It seems so out there, but at the same time, it's so in here, you know. It's a very personal movie. And someone, if you guys don't mind, I'm just gonna fact check this. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about what it won. Okay, here we go. So it received 6 nominations at the 92nd Academy Awards, which included Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay, Best Actor for Adam Driver, Best Actress for Scarlett Johansson, and it also received 6 nominations at the Golden Globes, including Best Motion Picture for Drama, and geez, there's more, as well as 5 nominations at the British Academy Film Awards, and Laura Dern won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, the Golden Globe, the Screen Actors Guild Award, and the BAFTA. Good Lord. Wow. This woman really just, the sky is really the limit for her, isn't it? I'm so surprised that, like, nobody else won anything, you know, because I don't understand. I don't know, again, like, not that Laura Dern isn't a fantastic actress. She is just spectacular, but I think the other actors deserved to win something too. Especially Adam Driver, man. I'm having a hard time seeing Adam Driver as not Kylo Ren, because I've watched so many of I've watched all the new Star Wars movies, and I got it in my head that Adam Driver is Kylo Ren or Ben Solo. So it's like, it's hard to see him in any other movie, especially because he never changes. Maybe I haven't seen enough of his movies to notice, but the movies that I've seen, like I've seen him with the same hairstyle, you know, as he had playing Kylo Ren in the Star Wars movies. So it's always, he doesn't even like cut his hair or anything or style it differently, you know. It's the same hairstyle. So I'm always going to see him as Kylo Ren, you know. I have the same problem with Johnny Depp. I always see him as Jack Sparrow, and he plays a different character in every single movie he's in. But anyway, whatever. So yeah, Marriage Story. Totally and completely recommended. Obs, you know, very good movie, one of the best I have ever seen, and that's really saying something. I don't know what kind of rating I'll put on it, but I could give it anywhere from 9 to 9.5 all the way to 10. You know, I would probably definitely give it, I don't know, well, between that spectrum there, it's very hard to decide on one specific rating because it's a really good movie. But yeah, everything about it was just amazing. It was damn near perfect, you know, just absolutely flawless, you know. The character development of the actual characters involved, you know, very, very good acting, good soundtrack, good music, you know, in the background, you know, a lot of really good drama, excellent storytelling, you know, just really, you know, teeth-knitting drama, you know. And yeah, I'm just happy it wasn't directed by Michael Bay, because there would have been explosions everywhere, even in the courtroom.
I like to think of you as people.
Oh, okay, good.
You remind me of myself on my second marriage.
Baby, I'm amazed the way you love me all the time.
Part of what we're gonna do together is tell your story.
Did you dye your hair again?
No, this is me. You don't like it?
Is it shorter? I prefer it longer, but...
Anyway, that's it, guys. That is it. That was my review of Marriage Story, which you can watch right now on Netflix. It is still available. It's still in their catalog. I definitely recommend it, okay? Please go and see it. And if you already have, let me know, you know, drop a comment saying that you've already seen it and you liked it. Tell me what you thought about it. And if you happen to have watched it, you know, before seeing this video, let me know if you caught that spoiler warning at the beginning, right? A spoiler, then you went to watch it, you know? So yeah, if you watched this video without watching the movie, you literally spoiled the whole thing for a second. You ruined the experience for yourself. So yeah, that's it. I'm sorry that my videos are a little delayed. You know, I was facing a few problems like I mentioned in my last video doing the language challenge, you know. And one more time, I will say this, guys, make sure that you always check my community tab on YouTube, okay? You can see it on your desktop computer, on your phone, your tablet, you know, everything that you access YouTube on has this little community tab somewhere along, you know, where you see videos, playlists, channels about, you know, on everyone's channel. Well, there's a community tab there and you can see what I've been posting, you know. It's a very good way for you guys to stay updated whenever I go too many days without uploading a video or something like that, you know. I always explain what everything that happens there on that community tab, so stay connected with me, all right? That is the best way for me to talk to you guys outside of the actual videos, you know, because I don't know how many of you watch until the end, you know. I don't know how many of you catch this little thing at the end here, so please always check my community tab, okay? And that's it for today. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.
I realized I didn't ever really come alive for myself. I was just feeding his aliveness.
I'll never get to really be his parent again. He needs to know that I fought for him.
It's not as simple as not being in love anymore.
Eventually, it'll be the two of you having to figure this out. Together.